Would you like to sell your house?
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Those Were the Days. As you know, we are watching Archie Bunker, aka All in the Family, or as I like to say, Those Were the Days. So with that being said, this episode is a pretty interesting one. It is called The Blockbuster, and I'm kind of familiar with this episode. It's not my absolute favorite episode, but it is an interesting one to say the least. But without me telling you that, let's jump right in to the story. Here we go.
Those were the days.
Ooh, I've never been so cold in my life.
Oh yeah, their heater's not working.
Mom, what's taking Daddy so long? I'm freezing.
Archie, did you fix the furnace yet?
And Archie is, of course, trying to save a penny and do it himself.
Long ago we did, but I'm staying down here because I love the cellar.
I see.
Dingbat?
Dingbat.
Have some more coffee. It'll take the chill off your bones.
Right.
Thanks, Ma. Why does the furnace only break down on Sundays?
You know?
He said, we got a religious oil burner. It never works on Sunday.
Kids aren't amused by that, but that was funny.
We got a religious air burner.
Oh boy.
It don't work Sundays.
She already told us that. They didn't like it either way, so it works.
I just told him that joke, Archie.
And don't be grabbing seconds to let other people get firsts.
Who was that, Gloria?
Oh,
Would you like to sell your house?
no.
Bird Real Estate Agency is prepared to offer you a substantial profit.
So somebody's looking to buy realty.
Gee, who would want to pay a lot of money for this house?
You live there for free, you don't get to talk.
This house is constructed way better than most of the new ones you see around today.
Right?
So are the pyramids, but who'd want to live there?
I mean, if you had to.
You would if they let you in for nothing.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Well, I don't know, Archie.
Oh, all right, Edith. I ain't saying everybody. After all, one man's goose is another man's dander.
Okay. Trash treasure, maybe? I don't know.
Somewhere, there's a man for who this house is perfect.
Right.
But what if he lives in Japan?
Then he'd move here.
Then he loses out, Edith.
Right.
But Daddy, why would you want to sell? I mean, your mortgage is almost paid up.
Okay.
I bought this house 20 years ago for $14,000.
Right.
Well, with the way prices are going up, maybe I could turn it over today for $21,000, maybe $22,000.
A lot more nowadays, too.
So who says we gotta live in New York?
Like where?
Out west, for example.
Yeah,
You got a little elbow room out there.
true.
A man can move along the mountaintops without people pushing and shoving.
Whole lot of nothing, though.
Tell them here no discouraging word.
He means California.
That's right.
It's kind of ironic when we get into other seasons. I won't spoil it for you, but you know you know. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but in every episode, one of the cameras has a little red dot up in the right-hand corner.
We got a religious oil burner. It never works on Sunday.
And now that I've shown it to you, you're never going to not see it. You're welcome.
The words substantial profit caught my eye. I was wondering what that would come to in dollars and cents. Not on the phone.
No, he has to do an estimate first.
Edith, what are you sticking in my spine? Just leave it over there.
Right?
Archie, you'd really leave New York?
I might.
Price is right.
What's the big attraction here? The weather out there, which is always lousy.
Lousy. That is the French for lousy.
Come to the land of milk and honey.
Yeah, California.
No, Archie, that's Israel.
I really want to go places.
He says in the morning you can reach your hand out the bedroom window and pick an orange off the tree.
And then get sued by your neighbor.
You done that in New York, you get your hand mugged.
Right?
Come on, Archie. California's just as bad as New York.
He's a regular Marco Polish.
Marco Polish. Polo.
Wouldn't be nice to live in a neighborhood where you go for a walk on the street, without fearing to take your life in your hands.
True. But now California is, well, kind of like that too. So,
Where the minorities don't outnumber the majorities. 12-foot wall around the whole place. Beautiful.
well,
He's gonna move to San Quentin.
except for the guards are trying to keep people out, not keep people in.
The Centinela exit of the Santa Monica Freeway.
Sounds a whole lot better than Flushing.
Right. Hey, that's where the nanny was from.
She was working in a bridal shop in Flushing, Queens.
Or the Gowanus Canal. Which if you threw a stick into it, it wouldn't splash, it bends.
Come on, Arch. I've heard you say it 100 times. You'd never move out of this neighborhood.
Right.
Sure, I'm willing to travel. Your mother, instead of staying with me there in the water, holding on to the rope, she turns over on her back and goes floating out to sea. Edith, don't open the door yet. Let me get into the kitchen.
He has it all planned out.
Just a bird, real estate.
How do you...
And he happens to be black. That is not going to be great for Archie.
Archie, Mr. Bird is here.
Here's a nice little surprise for him, eh?
Hey, would you like a nice soft drink, Mr. Bird, or would you prefer something hard?
Soft will be fine.
Pour yourself a hard one, Arch.
You know, I get a real homey feeling here.
Right. It's a home.
Little light refreshments in order before we start to talk. You're colored.
Gee, Arch, we didn't think you'd notice.
Right.
You didn't sound colored on the phone.
Oh,
I used a white telephone.
right. He used his white voice.
Hey, young blood, let me give you a tip. Use your white voice, like this young blood.
Hey, Mr. Kramer, this is Langston from Regal View. I didn't catch you at the wrong time, did I?
Oh, it's you, McNabb. What do you want? You saw who coming in. I ain't gonna else say the house hate no AIDS spray.
Oh, we know Pig Latin.
Oh, wait a minute, Mr. Bunker. I came to talk about your house.
Right.
Well, I just made up my mind that I ain't gonna sell it.
Oh, has something happened to color your decision?
See, I just don't want to sell you my house, and that's all there is to it, Mr. Blackburn. Bird.
Freudian slip.
Yeah, well, I mean, after all, I could throw figures at you, but then you ain't got the money to pay.
Well, okay, maybe.
I could say, what, $35,000.
Oh, say.
Huh?
So,
Wow, okay. Should have said 100,000.
$35,000 for this house?
That was kind of a lot back then.
Would you sit down there, Michael, please?
Right.
your house is only worth $35,000 to me.
Right.
You see, it's just that black people can't get into neighborhoods like this.
Okay.
Now, there are a lot of houses just like yours on the block.
Right.
So if you don't want to sell, well, I'm sure one of your neighbors will. After that, when a few more black families move in, your house is going to be worth less.
Okay.
Blockbuster!
What?
Archie, this guy's a blockbuster!
Oh, will you...
Ah.
A businessman.
Yeah, it's a rotten business.
Okay.
Archie, don't you see? He buys low from whites that are frightened, and then he takes advantage of his own people by selling to them for 2 or 3 times what a house is worth.
You know,
Right.
look at your son-in-law reminds me of my kid brother.
Meathead, huh?
Exactly.
So he's doing predatory buying.
I gotta speak to you, Archie, Mr.
Right. I mean, give it a couple days.
But I'm not sure I want to move to California.
$35,000? You may never get a chance like this again, Edith.
Maybe.
But you don't like me in pants.
Out there, I'll like you in pants.
Right. I'll change my mind.
By the way, when you come back, this door ain't such a good idea coming in. If you could,
Use the back door, you know, the servant's entrance, you know.
Yeah, when you sit in your car, keep your head down, huh?
On the phone?
No, Edith, open up the window and holler.
Right. Send smoke signals, you know, telegram.
Yeah, that's right, Archie, because it's your pocketbook that's talking. You couldn't care less about helping blacks.
True.
Not only has Rudy got a job waiting for me out there, but he's going to let us all stay in his beautiful home till we find a place of our own.
Oh, nice.
I thought we were gonna talk it over.
What else is there to talk over, Edith?
I talked, you listened. There you go.
Stranger, he's never even been to the house.
Of course, he's been out in California making a fortune, that's why.
Right.
He's a smart young guy. Edith, tell him about Rudy. Where the hell are you?
I'm just looking where we used to measure Gloria.
Wow.
Remember how beautiful Gloria looked the day of her wedding?
Yeah, she doesn't want to move.
Everything's on one level. They ain't got a flight of stairs in the whole state.
Right.
All except my own chair here, which is kind of a one-of-a-kind chair.
Right.
I'm used to this house, and now I'll have to go to someplace strange
Yep. Been there.
and wear pants.
Been there too.
You're gonna have some new friends. Some coloreds are moving into the neighborhood. No, where? Right here in this house. They gonna move in with you?
Right.
You wouldn't happen to be selling to a Mr. Bird, would you?
Right.
You know the guy?
Yeah, I know him. He's what we call an Oreo cookie.
Oh boy.
You know, black on the outside, white on the inside.
Yeah, I'm glad you like him. I thought he was a decent guy, too.
Oh, you ain't gonna be happy there.
Why not?
Well, California's right next door to Watts.
Okay.
Mr. Bird is
Oh,
here.
here we are. Welcome back, Mr. Bird.
That was quick.
I'm your wife, and I've always done what you wanted, even when you were wrong, like now.
Right. I agree.
I'm not leaving my 5-quart casserole.
I mean, you kind of need like your utensils and stuff.
Is that Bertha over there?
Oh, it's one of his relations, like his cousin or something.
Cousin Bertha.
Cousin Bertha. Okay.
He just said last week if he could only get hold of $20,000, he could get his head above water.
Oh boy.
I tell you, Archie, he's been sinking.
Wow. So he's gonna take a loan from Archie?
Every time he opens a business, his first customer is the sheriff.
Wow. He doesn't want to have to deal with this guy now.
You're giving him another chance with your $20,000.
Especially since he thinks he's getting a loan from him
He's getting the garage all fixed up for you to live in.
in the garage. And he said the whole house.
I better consider my wife's feelings a little more.
Right.
My son-in-law here, he don't adjust too easy. He can't be moved.
Right.
You'll find that all of my neighbors is just about like me.
That's what I'm counting on.
Oh boy. If they're like him, they'll sell pretty quick.
I'm starting with Jimmy McNabb. That money-hungry Mickey sell his own mother for $35,000. Not a one of them with enough strength of character to stand up to that guy like I done.
Okay. So, I mean, it worked out.
I've never been this hot in my life.
First they were cold, now they're hot.
Can't you see me working on the thermostat here?
Right.
Hurry it up, I'm sweating my brains out here.
You done that when you was in diapers.
Oof. Wow.
Ain't this nice? Just like California.
Well, it's hot, sure. And that is it. Let's talk about it. Alright guys, so that was All in the Family, or as I like to say, those were the days. This episode was pretty interesting. We had this gentleman come to the door and offer to buy the house from the bunkers here, and he gave them a number that they really couldn't refuse until they did. So it was pretty good. This must have been something that happened a lot in the 60s and 70s. This is, I think, 71, 72 right now. And they kind of play it around the same time, kind of keeping it current events. So what they said was it was blockbusting, which is basically where somebody buys groups of houses and buys a few houses for decently high, and then moves in black families, and then that lowers the value of the houses, and then the white people move out, sell real low because they just want to leave, and then he can come in and buy up and then raise the price on the new black people coming in and get the houses for dirt cheap. So it is a tactic. It's definitely kind of predatory the way that they do it. Not only because they lowball the other people that didn't sell out, but they also sell higher to the black people that they're selling the houses to, so they end up making more money than they spent on the 2 or 3 houses that they put at a premium. So, yes, it's very predatory. I'm not sure if that's illegal anymore. I remember that there was these redlining things where they would say, okay, well, from here to here, we're going to put more money into this section of the city or the county, and then over here we're going to not put as much money. And basically, if you've ever heard the saying, the other side of the tracks, that is basically what redlining was, is this group over here gets less, less finances from the city or the state or whatever, and then these people get more money and get more investment because of whatever reason.
See, in the 1930s, as part of the New Deal, FDR created loan programs to help Americans finance their homes. But to decide who got those loans, the government created color-coded maps in which green neighborhoods were good and red neighborhoods were bad. This practice became known as redlining.
Was redlining like a racial thing? Yes, and then it became illegal. Some people still say that even though it's illegal, they still do it. Some people don't give loans to different types of people, whether they be black, Spanish, or Asian, or whatever. Yes and no. I would say that we would have to look at it case by case instead of just doing a generality thing. Back then, we can kind of prove that was really what was going on with the social climate being what it was. Nowadays, the climate has changed and kind of reverted back, but not as bad. It's very weird in 2022. So, it's just, we in 10 years we'll know. So, the thing is, it just depends. Nowadays, it's kind of, you have to go by case to figure out, okay, was this, predatory or racially motivated, or were they just not having the credit that they needed to get the loan, or, to buy this house. So, all in all, interesting episode. It's kind of hard to, really just sit down and think about that whole concept as a whole, because nowadays I believe it's illegal to do, at least in most states, if not all of them, and it's just kind of a hard concept to think that someone would buy a few houses at a really high rate, and then just because there's black people that move in next door, that the neighbors would move, which does tell you quite a bit about the times that they lived in. So it's kind of a hard pill to swallow, to think that we were ever that bad in America. But all in all, a good episode. It wasn't it was fun. It wasn't as funny as the typical episodes, but Archie really was more on the side of the guy doing the stuff that he usually would be messing with. So he wasn't poking him as much as he usually would be. But again, all in all, a good episode. So if you guys like this review, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you don't, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. It's okay. Nobody sees it anyways. If you haven't hit the little subscribe button,
Don't worry about it. You're still in good shape. All you got to do is just tap it in. Just tap it in now.
Go ahead and hit that little subscribe button, because that helps out the channel. I am trying to get to 500 subscribers pretty quickly. Of course, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so I can get monetized. But my first thing is getting that community tab so I can do polls, talk to you guys on a more regular basis, make this more of a community. That's why it's called the community tab. They just are about to make it where you can't hide your subscribers, so I never understood that. I never did it anyways, but it was just kind of a fun thing to learn about, that people were hiding their subscribers, and now you're not going to be able to. So that's interesting. But yeah, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And I want to thank all of you guys for getting this far in the video. I want to thank all of my subscribers. And we will see you next time. Peace.